Hi, it's Ms. Hancock, and today we're going to talk about addition of rational numbers on a number line. We're going to concentrate on fractions. The standard is NS1. So let's go ahead and look at the first problem. So when we're looking at this problem, notice that the denominators are the same. And I want to explain the number line for just a moment. So here is 0. And if we're going to the right, you see the little tick mark right there. So this would be 1/3. This would be 2/3. And then this would be 3/3. And when you divide that, that gives you 1 whole. So I'm not going to write each of those marks. I'm not going to label them, but just know that they increase by 1/3. Okay, this side right here would be negative 1/3. And this would be negative 2/3, and this would be negative 3/3. And when you divide it, it gives you a -1. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there for you so you can see it. Remember, we're going to start at 0, and we're going to go to -2 1/3. So I'm going to go to -1, -2, and then that would be 1/3 right there. So this is where we are, -2 1/3. And then it says that we're going to go right. This plus sign tells me to go right. 2/3. So that is 2/3, which is 1/3 plus 1/3. And each of these is a third. So I'm going to go back to the right. I'm going to go, that's 1/3, 2/3. So right here is my answer. Well, a common mistake that students make is they see this -2 and they think this is -2 1/3. But go back to the 0 and then count. So this would be -1. And then I don't make it to -2, so it's -1, and this is 1/3, and this is 2/3. So this is -1 2/3, and that's the solution to this problem. So -1 2/3. So let's go ahead and look at another problem. Okay, on this problem, we have a half and a fourth, and we need to get a common denominator, and that would be 4. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 and by 2. That gives me 1 2/4 plus -2 1/4. And I want to look at the number line again. So this is 0, and if you notice, there's 1, 2, 3 tick marks right there. And so this is going to be counting by fourths. So this would be 1/4, this would be 2/4, and this would be 3/4, and then 4/4. And same thing going this way. This would be -1/4, -2/4, -3/4, and then -4/4. And then the pattern just continues, okay? So we're going to start at 0 right here, and it says go 1 2/4. So I'm going to go to the 1, and then I'm going to go 2/4. So that's 1/4, 2/4. So right here, this is where I'm going to. This is 1 2/4, and we also know that's 1 1/2, but it's just been 2/4 is not simplified. Now we're going to start right here at the 1 2/4, and it says we're going to go right, but then it says go opposite. So this is telling me to go opposite. So I'm going to end up going left 2 1/4 times. So I've got to go 2 wholes. So to get a whole, I've got to end back up at 2/4. So this would be, right here would be a whole. Okay, so that's 1 whole because I went from 1 2/4 to 2/4. And then I got to go another whole. And so it's going to put me right here at -2/4. So that would be 2 -2. And then I go a fourth. So I'm going to go 1 tick mark. So this is where I'm going to be right there. And so this is my solution to this problem. The solution would be -3/4. Okay, so now let's look at one more problem. And this problem right here, we're going to look at the number line. We have a common denominator of 2, so they're halves. And for some reason, I'm not real sure why. I have some numbers missing on this number line. So this would be 0, and then -1, and this would be -2. And what about the tick marks? What do you think they are? They only have 1 there. So this would be 1/2, and this would be -1/2. So it's counting by halves. So let's look at the first problem part. The first term is -1/2. So I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to go to -1, and then I'm going to go to 1/2, which is right here. Okay, so this is -1/2. So that's where I end up, and that's where I'm going to start when I go to my next term. Now, plus tells me to go right, so I think I'm going this way, but then it says -2, and that's telling me go opposite direction. So I'm going to end up turning back around, okay? So I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to go 2 holes. And to go 2 holes, I'm going to start, I'm at 1/2. So I've got to go to 1/2. This is 1/2. That's going to give me 1 hole. And then go to the next half. That gives me 2 holes. So I've got 2 holes. And then I need to go 1/2, which would be right there. So my solution to this problem is -4. I hope working with these number lines has helped you understand how to look at number lines with fraction markings on it. And I will see you in the next video. So you have a great day.